2 y 6. Por tanto, de la manera que habéis recibido el Señor Jesucristo, anda en Él. Y eso es tan importante en estos días, que tenemos que seguir andando en el Señor Jesucristo. Cuando nos va bien o cuando nos va mal, necesitamos hacer esa representación a este mundo más que nunca. Dice, arrojados y edificados en Él, y confirmados en la fe, así como habéis aprendido, creyendo en ella con hacimiento de gracia. Voy a leerlo en inglés. It says, as ye therefore receive Jesus Christ the Lord, walk ye in Him. In other words, be just like Him. You have to walk like Him. Rooted and built up in Him, and established in the faith, as ye have been taught, according to their end, with thanksgiving. Vamos a ser agradecidos por el Evangelio que nos ha dado a vivir y ser con raíces profundos, edificado en Él. El 8 dice, beware lest any man spoil you through philosophies and vain deceit, and after the traditions of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Christ. Así léelo, hermano, el 8.
Mira que nadie os engañe por medio de las filosofías y huecas sortezas según la tradición de los hombres, conforme a los rudimientos del mundo, y sigan a Cristo.
Y no sigan a Cristo.
Sigan a Cristo.
That's right. Yo sé que hay filosofía que es buena, hay consejo que es bueno, pero si no es Dios, ¿qué es el final de eso? Sabemos cuando van a las secretarías o psychiatrists, que ellos escuchan y dicen no existe nada mal. Y en vez están pasando por una prueba y a lo mejor hicieron un mal y su mente no los quiere descansar. Así tenemos que tener cuidado y estar seguros que estamos bien. Noté esto en las noticias y cómo lo pusieron en palabras. Dijeron que 2 más estados han pasado leyes a permitir que se casen los homosexuales. Dijeron tuvieron victoria en 2 estados, and they said they had victory in 2 states where they are now permitted to marry homosexuals. Y no era victoria. Para ellos es victoria. El pecado, permitirlos pecar es victoria, pero no es victoria del Señor. Es maldición. It's a curse. It's not victory. And dijeron que ahora hay 33 estados en Estados Unidos que se permita casarse los homosexuales. ¿No saben qué tan peligro estamos en ya? Y todas siguen haciendo esas cosas malas. No podemos justificar o votar el pecado delante de Dios. Si se está bien, Dios, está bien, podemos cometer adulterio, fornicación, homosexualidad, matar a nuestros vecinos. Todo está justificado. Y no importa cuántos votos ponga el hombre, si es en contra de Dios y su palabra, todavía es mal. It's still bad. No matter how many people vote for it and the whole nation votes for it, it's still wrong in the eyes of God. He hasn't changed his mind. We can't vote against God's will and say, no, God, it's okay. Well, no, we're going to lose. God has to judge this world, and so He's looking for those remnant that are striving to serve Him righteously. No podemos estar parte de este alimento del mundo. It says, for in Him dwelleth all the fullness of the Godhead bodily. It's talking about Jesus. Ye are complete in him, which is the head of all principality and power. Lee el 9:10, hermano.
Porque en él habita por la mente toda la plenitud de divinidad, y vosotros estéis completos en el que es la cabeza de todo príncipe y potestad.
Es decir, que Dios está en control de todo esto. Y cuando el hombre trata de ir en contra de Dios, no lo va a ir bien. Él está en control de todo, principado y poder. Y luego va a usar estos diferentes religiones que dicen que hablan mal en contra de la cristianidad. Los musulmanes, los islámicos hablan mal en contra de la cristianidad porque dicen que los permita pecar. Aunque el pecado que ellos están cometiendo es matar, pero Dios usa a ellos para mantener los justos y arrodillados, porque a veces, aunque no lo creen, hay gente allá afuera que no oren sino huelen mal. You know, it's a shame that there's some people out there that they don't pray and they don't get close to God until things get bad. You know, and it's a shame, and it's a good thing we know that in their heart God is there, but they're not wanting to serve Him in the good times, just in the bad times. And God has to use these things, and finally they get pulled out of that fire, and they say, okay, I'm going to serve God no matter what. But it's those people that God is searching for. And He allows these things to come about with all these principalities and powers that are in place. In 11 it says, in whom ye are circumcised with the circumcision made without hands, in putting off the body of sin of the flesh by the circumcision of Christ. ¿El 11 léelo, hermano?
Bien, y en él también fuiste circuncidado con circuncisión no hecha a mano al echar de vosotros el cuerpo pecaminoso, carnal en la circuncisión de Cristo. 12. Sepultado con en él en bautismo en la ciudad, fuiste también resucitado con él. Meditates la fe en el poder de Dios que le levantó de los muertos.
It says, in whom you are circumcised with the circumcision made without hands. You know, it's something physical that the Lord is trying to give us an example, spiritually speaking. And even women are being circumcised today spiritually. When we circumcise the flesh of this sin from our heart, that means we're cutting it away. We're getting rid of the flesh of the sin. So we're being circumcised by Jesus Christ and His Word. Buried with Him in the baptism, wherein also ye are risen with Him through faith of the operation of God, who has raised Him from the dead. That means we will resurrect with Him. And you being dead in your sins, and the uncircumcision of the flesh, has He quickened together with Him, having forgiven you all your trespasses. All it's saying there is that though you were in sin, He forgave you of all those sins. Doesn't mean you stay in that sin. Doesn't mean you carry around that flesh. It still has to be circumcised from you. You still have to get rid of the sin, that body of sin, that flesh that desires to do the sinning ways. And in that our forgiveness comes, and for all of our trespasses, and whether it be sin or just unrighteousness. It says, blotting out the handwriting of ordinances that was against you, which was contrary to us, and took it out of the way, nailing it to the cross. There was a lot of ordinances that brought judgment on us. But those ordinances, they're still there, but they're not bringing the judgment on us, because now we know, with the understanding, the illumination of the Word of God through Jesus Christ, that we are to fulfill them. So that way we don't have to worry about the law if we're not breaking it. You know that? You don't have to worry about the law if you're not breaking it. And if you do, well, you can be forgiven of that too, in Christ. I know I got pulled over just yesterday, or day before yesterday. And I was going in the turning lane, and then I ended up going straight. And I was in indecision because I had just put some tires on my truck, and of course Walmart wouldn't put tires on my back ones because they were missing bolts. So I was trying to figure out which tire shop I was going to go to have and put it on, because I hate hydroplaning. Any of y'all know about hydroplaning? I know Sister Nicholas knows about hydroplaning. I don't like hydroplaning. I know you have to have a good pair of tires with good treading in order to get by. I don't care how pretty they look, if they don't have that much tread, when you hit water, it's going to fly. So I always like to have as much tread on them as I can, so when it hits water, it just goes right over it. And I was in indecision. I didn't know which tire shop I would take them to, see if they were going to give me a hard time or what. And I ended up turning off this way instead of turning. I went straight. And so the policeman comes in behind me with his lights. I go, oh God, what did I do? And so he told me, he says, well, says, I gave him, he said, you have your license? You have insurance? I said, sure, I showed it to him. He says, do you know what you did? I go, well, no. He says, well, you were in the turning lane and then you went straight. I go, but I didn't realize, because I thought there was two lanes, that one would go straight. You know how it has a straight arrow and a turn? And then one had just a turn where you have to turn. Well, they both had turns. They didn't have the straight arrow where you can go straight or turn or went in. So, needless to say, he says, no, you were in the turning lane. I go, oh. I said, yeah, you're right, you're right. It's just that I just put these tires on, and I was in indecision which way to go to take them, which tire shop to go to, and whether I was going to go straight or turn to go to the different tire shop. And I was indecision. You're right, I was wrong. I messed up, and I'm sorry. He says, well, tell you what, Mr. Manrique, I'm going to look up your license. Is everything's okay? We'll just give you a warning. I go, okay? He says, if not, well, then we'll have to do something about it. I said, okay, no problem, sir. So he took my license, checked it. There was no tickets, no nothing, no warrants or anything. So, he let me go. He says, no, I'll let you off with a warrant. I said, thank you, sir, I appreciate it. I said, just, one of those things, I was in indecision. I'll just be more careful. Thank you for giving me a warning. So he let me go. But, those are the ordinances where I would have had to pay a lot of money. I hate tickets. You're just throwing money away. That's all you're doing. And I'm not a girl that I can cry and they'll let me go. Some of you ladies can cry and say things and go, okay, fine, just get out of here. I can't. I have to deal with it. I let him give it to me. But I'm honest. I'll be, if I deserve it, I deserve it. Don't want to pay him, but I have to, if it's wrong. But no, he let me go, and thank God for that. I think they did that. That was the second time they did that to me. But those ordinances, they can kill you. I mean, you get enough tickets, you're going to have a lot of money thrown out the window. Thousands of dollars, But the ordinances can get you into so much trouble that the laws won't, There's ordinances that we have here that you can't smoke in a public building. It's, and it's an ordinance. Not necessarily a law, but it's an ordinance. But if you break enough ordinances, you will end up in jail. You try and smoke in HEB or in the courthouse, see what happens.
En el airplane te cobra $10,000.
They want to pass a law all over the United States, so people will not smoke no more.
Yeah, no, they don't. They want
There's a lot of babies that are getting cancer because of the smoking done on the public.
It's I don't see as much as I used to, but I know our hospital system is a smoke-free system, tobacco-free, and we're not supposed to smoke. When we tell them we don't smoke, they'll give us a discount on our health insurance. Otherwise, it's going to be more. And they even take blood make sure we're not smoking. You know, they find that we've been smoking tobacco, they're gonna get you.
Así a los que hay una carta a nosotros también, nos dan $150 más de discount en la segunda.
Yes, if you don't smoke. And now it's gotten to where they don't even want you smoking in front of the building. And now in Brownsville, that hospital, you're not allowed to smoke on any of the property. It don't matter. There's not a designated area. You have to leave the property in order to smoke. And it is hard on those that smoke, but those are ordinances. They're not the law, they're ordinances. The law is if you kill somebody, you're going to jail. It may even cost you your life in the state of Texas, because we have capital punishment. You know, if you kill somebody and premeditate, they're going to kill you. But, you know, these ordinances can make it very hard. And so, you know, Paul was mentioning to them that you know, Jesus nailed those things to the cross. You know, we're no longer being obedient to the law, but fulfilling it. In other words, if God says, thou shalt not, we don't do it because we love God. It's no longer something difficult. I know for years, I don't know. Do y'all ever wonder what it means to fulfill the law? I mean, I did for years until finally the Lord showed me. Fulfilling the law is just being obedient to it. Obeying the law. And he showed me that through Samuel and Saul. When Saul was making sacrifices, and he really put it strong on me, and then I got an understanding of what Jesus meant to fulfill the law. He says, God requires when Saul went off to kill the king and all his animals and burn down all his buildings and everything, they were cleansing the land. Well, Saul decided, well, he's going to bring all the best animals and sacrifice them to God. You know, people took raiment and stuff they weren't supposed to. They saved young people for slaves, which they weren't supposed to. They were supposed to kill everybody, burn everything, don't take nothing. And so he brought the animals for sacrifice. Of course, we know Saul blamed the people. He said, well, the people wanted to sacrifice them. These are perfectly good animals. We can just sacrifice them to God. He says, he didn't want that sacrifice. You know, he said, that ain't the sacrifice he wanted. And that's when Saul said, God would rather you be obedient than to make sacrifice. And then it clicked in my head, okay, that's what Jesus meant by I'm fulfilling the law. In other words, if you fulfill the law, there's no need for sacrifice. When you're obedient to the law, there's no need for sacrifice. But also being obedient to the law is if you make a sin, you bring in the sacrifice. And now we know where the sacrifice. So I have learned what it means to fulfill the law of God in my life is to do it. It says, thou shalt not, and we shall not. And that's as simple as it gets. And it depends on the severity of the bondage to sin you may have. It says. And having spoiled principalities and powers, he had showed them openly, triumphing over them in it. That's why I believe that God is in control. There's no other person in control, no other being in control. You know, God, he says he spoiled all principalities and powers. And I mean, you know, some people, and y'all may still be strongly believe in the devil that's attacking you. Well, rebuke him. I'm sorry, you're just playing. Is God God or not? You know, if you read how the early church worked, it didn't ever worry about no devil. Just cast them out. Rebuked them. People came along around them with powers of darkness, like that little lady that could fortune tell. He just rebuked that spirit out of her. It cost him, because she was making good money for her owners, telling fortunes. But the church didn't have any problem with some being out there. He had a problem with leadership, with the mayor of this town, like y'all had with the sheriff who came in. Where's your flag? Remember that? I took those flags down. I don't want none of that's of this rule. They can come and challenge me. I know the law. I mean, I was raised in it. That's why I know so much. They ain't gonna force me to do things that I don't have to do. There's a separation of church and state. But they made y'all put up those flags there. you know, and that was just ridiculous. I know it might have been a Catholic person forcing these ordinances on y'all, you know, and y'all didn't know. You know, you could just we may even stick a flag out in front one day, put a flagpole up there, and fly the flag of the United States of America. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. And, you know, God founded this nation to give us the freedom of religion that we may serve Him in spirit and in truth and not have to worry about persecution. We don't know what persecution is. Yeah, they might have gotten after you and stuff. That ain't persecution, man. When they come in here and start closing the place and wanting to take away the property and all that, and telling you shouldn't be preaching that, what do you mean you can't? You got to quit your sinning ways. That's wrong. Jesus is love. Don't worry about the wrath of God. God loves His creation. He ain't going to do nothing to it. No, He loves His creation, but when it goes wrong, He destroyed it. He brought flood and just wiped it all out. If it wasn't for Noah showing righteousness, it would have been wiped out. The humankind would have been wiped out. As we know it today, we wouldn't be in existence. Thank God for Noah. You know, it says there in Genesis that He looked upon the sons of man, and they were, their thoughts were continually evil. He says, I will not give this generation 120 years. And a lot of people think, well, God says you can't live old anymore. You can't live longer than 120 years. But we know that man after that lived to be 300 and 400 and 500 still. What He was talking about was when He walked upon the earth that day, He said, in 120 years, if nothing happens, I'm destroying these people, this creation I have made. Did He not say on the seventh day, man, this is beautiful. This is right. But yet after He's seen how man went, after sin entered in, He said, I got around this. I ain't giving them 120. If they don't straighten out, that's it. And thank God, 20 years after that profession, He ran across Noah and seen that he was righteous in his generation. And he walked perfect with God. He walked as perfect as he could do and with God. We didn't have all these ordinances. But we know that we have to be obedient. You know, we know he spoiled. And once he destroyed all principalities and powers, he made a show of them openly, triumphing over them in it. Let no man therefore judge you in meat or in drink or in respect of a holy day, that means the Sabbath, or of a new moon, or of a Sabbath day. So, okay, got it right. Holy day not considered Sabbath holy days. But they had other days that were considered holy, that, you know, what's it called, year of Jubilee and certain days, but this was the Sabbath. This is, you don't even judge him for the Sabbath anymore. If not, if we, like the brother, if he worked on a Saturday, they'd have him killed. I mean, if we're still under the law, they would have him killed. You know, me and you, we work on Saturday. Poor Sister Linda won't be able to mow no lawn. She couldn't even go visit her favorite 95-year-old lady because you couldn't travel very far. You know, don't look at me like that. That's the way it was. That's the way it was. If you picked up sticks to make a fire so you can cook something to eat on a Saturday, they killed you. You were stoned to death. But we know that has all changed. Now we know that all the days are of the Lord.
En alcanzó, hermano. En alcanzó en el 84 que fuimos para allá. Nomás trabajaban 6 días porque tenían las backwood laws de Dios.
Yeah, that was the blue days, when no businesses could be open.
Estaba así y le dijimos nosotros venimos a trabajar 7 días. Y no, porque ustedes creen en Satanás y traen el preacher, man.
I don't know about
that. Los dijeron cosas porque trabajamos 7 días.
I remember back in '74 when we were down here, when I was just a kid, and they had the blue law where nobody could shop on Sundays. You couldn't go out shop. They couldn't open stores. I think the only thing they allowed open was a gas station to be open on a Sunday. That was it. And everybody had to be closed. I don't know if the restaurants were closed then too. Do you remember, Sister Linda? Oh, yeah, because you were spoiled rotten by your daddy. Took you out to eat all the time. Sure, right. She was spoiled. She's a princess. She ought to be a Jew because they treated her like a prince. She got everything she wanted. But, you know, those they can't judge us on those things. And we're no longer under that law, which are of a shadow of things to come, but the body is of Christ. In other words, yes, we are to have our Sabbath day. Our Sabbath day should be every day. You should rest in God every day. Do you rest in God in every day? I do my best to. I learned to trust in Him. That's how you rest in Him. You trust in Him. You don't have to wait till one day. You don't even have to wait till Sunday. You know, a lot of people think Sunday is the day of worship and all that. No, every day is the day of worship of God. Every day belongs to Him. It's no longer just one day. Oh, we can sin on this day because it ain't Sunday, you know. A lot of people would go to church on Saturdays, y'all know, then be sinning like the devil on Sunday because they had Mass on Saturday. Everything's good. They ended up the day good, ended up the week good, and then Sunday, let's go do what we want.
El Sunday, hermano, íbamos para la church, ¿no? Fuimos al Walmart primero. Y estaban saliendo los de la iglesia católica, así, ¿no? Iban derechito a la tienda y salían con un six-pack. Dijeron los de ya vienen bendecidos.
Yeah, blind. But they don't want to see. I mean, it's a shame. They don't want to see. They don't want these things. And sometimes, it's, like I said, well, you know, a lot of the times we come to the Lord for the bad times we're in. And, you know, it's good to know the Lord in the good times. But it said these are the shadow of things to come. That is the body of Christ. In other words, we do still have the Sabbath. You know, we still fulfill the law. You know, not with our death. Now we're under grace, where if we do commit a sin, we're not going to be forgiven. It said, don't let no man beguile you in your reward in involuntary humiliating, worshiping of angels. What's an angel? It's someone who's died and gone to heaven, right? Died and gone to heaven is an angel. It said, yet here, there's men who are teaching using the Word of God, because he wasn't talking to the ungodly here. You know that, right? He's talking to Christians. He says, don't let them teach you humility and worshiping of angels, the messengers of God. Yeah, there's a list of I don't know how many saints that you can pray to. We're not supposed to pray to saints. We can't do that. Can't pray to your pastor. You know, there's people out there that say that they'll pray to that Pope that died, Pope John Paul, whoever his name was. They've been healed. That's what they say. His picture, they prayed to him, and they got their miracle. Well, it's true. If you have not a love for the truth, God will send you a strong delusion to believe a lie. If they would have prayed to God, they would be grateful to God for their healing, not to the Pope. They had prayed to, like they did with Jesus when he healed those 9 lepers and only one came back. He says, where are the others? You know, they went to the temple. This one said, no, I can't. You are the one they healed. Well, that's what we need to do. We need to go to God, not to, you know, some people go to Benny Hinn and he heals them and now they worship him forever. No, he's just an instrument. We need to worship God. We need to thank Jesus for healing us. Not any man. That's how the power of God works better. When somebody prays for you, you heal, you thank Jesus. You thank the Lord. You know, we're just instruments. But we can worship angels, introducing them into those things which he hath not seen, vainly puffed up by his fleshly mind. It's all in your mind. It's all just made up stuff. Most religion is something that man has made up, has nothing to back it up. Because God is God. He is the creator of this universe. There is no other way. Some people believe in fairies. Some people believe in those gnomes, trolls. There was a generation that believes in the living dead. And now they worship him. For some movies, oh man, the living dead. What if some virus takes hold of us and we live? They wish. They wish. Ain't no such thing. Ain't no such thing. God is God, and we're just, they're living out their minds. God holding the head, from which is all the body by the joints and bands, have nourished, ministered, and knitted together, increase with the increase of God. Wherefore, if ye be dead with Christ from the rudiments of the world, why, as though living in the world, are ye subject to ordinance? What does it say? Touch not, taste not, handle not, which all are to perish with the using after the commandments and the doctrines of men. So what if you eat meat on a Friday? That don't matter. Something, oh my God, it's a sin. No, it's not. It's an ordinance of man. It was a good idea, have everybody fast on one day, if it were true. But now they're being obedient to their church. They're being obedient to their high priests. They're not being obedient to God. They're not doing it because they want to. They're doing it because they have to. And so if they eat some meat, oh, Dios perdóname. See them do the cross right away. Oh, I ate meat. My goodness. Did you really fast? Then you hear them cussing up a storm and acting like the devil afterwards. What did all that Lent have to do? That's why I joke with them when they tell me, so what is that black mark on you? Oh, it just tells me I'm a sinner. I go, you don't need that. I can tell you you're a sinner. You ain't got to have a mark on your forehead. Traditions of man, of the devil. They save all the plums and burn them, and then they put them on your head and mark you. There ain't none of that in the Bible. You know that? None of that's in the Bible.
Se enojaba un amigo cuando decía, oye, Roque, no te lavaste la cara en la mañana. ¿No sabes por qué es esto? Digo, sí sé, pues nomás que no te lavaste la cara. Es una manchota prieta aquí en la cabeza.
It's witchcraft. It's the mind of man trying to make things. It's not right. It's not right. It goes against God, doctrines of men. It says, which all are to perish with the using, after the commandments and doctrines of men. It says, which things have indeed as shown of wisdom in will, worship, and humility, and neglecting the body, not in any honor to the satisfying of the flesh. And that's why we do. We strive for righteousness. We strive to live our lives without sin. And not just when we're going the bad times saying, oh God, I'm quit my sin ways, because man, these things you just don't want to quit. No, we want to do it because we love the Lord. We don't go to the canteens, we don't get drunk, we don't, go steal from our neighbors, and all those things. We don't do those. We avoid those. And we learn to put on charity. We try not to be too mean. Some people can be mean, but we do our best not to be as mean, because we want to be Christ-like and love the Lord and be charitable and honest, and that God takes care of His people. We have a lot of work.